Hey everyone, this is Chris and Sandy Benton with the Chris and Sandy Show, where we get up close and personal with some amazing guests throughout the entertainment industry. And today, like I said in every episode, we got a great one for you. Who do we have?
We have a returning guest to our show. It's Nashville singer-songwriter Jennifer Hart. She's releasing her debut EP 1992 on September 30th. Jennifer had a hand in writing every song on the project, and the project features 5 brand new songs along with a reimagined version and original cut of her viral hit Half the Man.
And we're excited to have her back. So welcome to the show.
Welcome. Welcome back.
Thank you.
So on returning guests, I usually like to
Mhm.
start out the same way. What's happened since you've been on the show?
Oh gosh, a lot has happened. So I think last time I had just signed a record deal for Half the Man, and then I released a new single, Can't Have Mine. So since then, I've been writing for this EP, and it's been a lot of fun writing these songs and recording them, and now finally getting to show them to the world. I cannot believe it's just like a few days away.
Oh, that is awesome.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Yes, tell us about the project, some of the songs on there.
Yeah, so this EP is called 1992, which is the year I was born, and we're actually strategically releasing it. I really wanted the song 1992 out before my 30th birthday in October.
Wow.
So we're releasing the full EP and the 1992 music video 2 days before I turn 30.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's
Um,
awesome.
But I'm so excited. I feel like this EP is very me. It's a mix of, I grew up on 90s country, so it's a mix of 90s country mixed with some, like, I love contemporary country and some pop. I feel like there's elements of all of it in there.
Oh, wow.
You'll definitely hear the 90s country elements in there. And it's very nostalgic, which I didn't even do on purpose. I'm just such a family person. I loved my sister and I always say, like, we just had the best childhood and family growing up. So it kind of just reflects my life and like the things in the 90s and early 2000s that I grew up with. And it's just really fun. I think it'll take people on a journey full of different emotions.
You know, the 90s country is the best.
Oh,
It is.
yes, I grew up on 90s country. Love it.
And you know, it's funny. I remember just a few weeks ago, I think Spotify released their I don't know what it was called, but it was what streamed the most, which decade.
Oh,
And it
okay.
happened to be the 90s.
I believe it. That's easy to believe. I like it.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Lots of
But
great
of course,
songs,
you know,
so many
we're
great
biased
songs from the
because
artists.
that was our era.
That's right.
So, you know, last few years been rough for a lot of people. It looks like we're on the other side of this whole
Yes,
thing,
it
thank
does,
God.
hopefully.
But
Mhm.
in the meantime, how did it affect what you do through this last few years? And what have you done to kind of maneuver through it?
Yeah, there has been a lot that I'm grateful that things have happened the way they've happened, but it's also been very interesting, very hard. So, what I've heard, you know, when you sign a record deal, a lot of the times those people will like record right away or they'll go on tour right away. And that didn't happen for me, which I think was a good thing. I think I had a lot of time to write songs and really develop my sound and develop my project and become really close with my team and my management and all that. So I think it ended up being really good, but it's been hard with it just being so different. And also
Yeah.
asking
Yeah.
your team or people for advice, you know, it's kind of like they help you through it, but they're also like, hey, we're going through this with you. Like, this is our first time experiencing anything like this. So it was a challenge for all of us. And I mean, I'm so glad we're like mostly out of it now, but even emotionally, it was really hard. Just, I think everyone kind of went through that mentally and emotionally. Like, that was hard to not have things sooner and faster. And I love meeting and talking to people in person. So a lot of the things over Zoom was really hard for me too. So, but I mean, I'm just so excited for this project. I'm so excited to have a release party and get to see people in person. And it's, I'm just
It's amazing the stuff that you kind of take for granted all of a sudden got
It
taken
is.
away.
Mhm.
And now you got a new leaf on life.
yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
And so, you know, I think it's may have done a good thing for the country, not the deafs, of course, but to kind of put things in perspective. Because the industry with music is so tough, and acting and all that is tough.
It is.
And I think what all this did was put in perspective too some of the talent out there. Is this really what they want to do with their life? Because I've seen a lot of people talking about, well, we're leaving Nashville, they're going back to school and all that, which shows me that wasn't what they were supposed to do. That was just a temporary part of their life. But it really put things in perspective. Okay, do I really want to do this?
Absolutely. Oh yeah. I mean, I've challenged that every day. I've thought about quitting every day. But I think if you don't think about quitting in this industry, are you even in this industry?
Yeah.
I'm not, I'm not going to, obviously. And I do feel called to it.
I know the feeling.
Yeah, it's what I absolutely love to do. But absolutely challenge.
And speaking of tough, let's talk about that a little bit. As you know, a lot of people, they see the glory in what you do and what the big artists do and all that, but they don't see the grind, the sacrifice, the tears, the struggles. So tell us a little bit about that side of it. How does that affect you mentally? And how have you gotten through those low moments to have the high moments?
Yeah. Oh gosh. I get through those low moments with my very supportive and loving family and friends. Counseling. I'm in counseling at least once, maybe twice a week sometimes. And I don't know how people do it without it. I love it. It's very helpful, especially in this industry. Yeah, I mean, like I said, not even just COVID, but just this industry in general, life in general. Like nowadays we have social media, we have so much to compare ourselves to, which is it's just the thief of all joy. And that is hard. It's really
and then the trolls.
Exactly. It's really easy to say, don't compare yourself to other people's careers or to other people's Instagram pages and highlight reels. But it's really hard to just be like, oh, not a big deal. We all kind of get sucked into that. So really hard mentally. You really have to try to just be like, all right, this is God's plan for my life. This is my avenue, my lane, and I'm just so happy for other people. But it really is even hard to compare myself to what I did 2 years ago, or to to what I want to be doing. So that's hard too, just focusing so much on like streams and how many views am I getting on this video, and then I have to take a step back and be like, it's not about that. I hope that this video reaches one person. I hope this song reaches one person. Like, I have to remember that it's about the music and the journey, and not about like the numbers. So it's a constant. It's a battle every day.
And I get what you're saying, because there are times where I will compare our show to shows that launched about the same time as we did in 2020, and I'm like, well, God, they got triple the numbers we got. What are we doing wrong? And so I totally get what you're saying, because it's a tough. It doesn't matter what part of the entertainment industry, whether you're an artist, whether you're an actor, actress, whether you're a host like us, whether you're a PR company, a label, no matter what area you are, you go through the same emotions. It's such a tough industry. So because it's such a tough industry, tell us about the sacrifices you've had to make.
Lots of sacrifices. For me, one just kind of random thing is like, my full-time job is music, and it is a huge sacrifice because you're not necessarily getting paid what you can get paid with the success that you have the potential of having. So right now it's like I'm living day to day, hoping that I'm gonna get these streams here and go and do these shows here one day. And it's just like I'm sacrificing just a lot of like budgeting and just silly things that I think a lot of people go through. But it's a sacrifice because I'm such a dreamer. I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna eat out once this week, and it's just, I don't know. There's lots with just no one sees the behind the scenes of writing songs and how many songs I'm writing. And I think it's so funny. Like a lot of people back home are like, oh wow, these next few songs you're releasing or that you just released are really great. Like, and they think those are the only songs I've written. I'm like, oh, you have no idea.
How many songs on average do you write to actually get one that you feel comfortable pushing out?
Oh gosh, I haven't actually done the math myself. Her statistics are 1 in every 100 songs you write is the number 1 hit, which I don't even believe, because I'm like, people write thousands of songs.
Yeah.
That means you've got what about a bunch of hits coming.
I sure hope so, because that's not hundreds of songs. So maybe once you get your first number 1 hit, maybe that's a realistic statistic.
Right,
I'm like, I know people who've written thousands of songs and don't have a number 1 yet.
Yes.
And that's what's great about the industry, though, is a lot, I think sometimes, you have parents that kind of frown on their child being in the industry, but they don't realize that, they see the broke person and they see Blake Shelton, but they don't realize there's a lot of people in between that are making a really great income for themselves that you'll never hear from.
Exactly. Absolutely. It's like kind of like the minor leagues versus the major leagues. Like in the minor leagues, you're working hard and you're there and you're so close to getting to the major leagues. Very similar thing, but you're right. A lot of people, especially these days, with streaming, like people have had such a good platform in social media to be able to sell out their own shows without being on radio. And I think Cody Johnson was the first one to sell out an arena as an independent artist. And
Oh wow. Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just unheard of. Like he, just people have a lot more opportunity these days, which I think is really awesome, but it's really, really hard too.
So tell us about, you've had some challenges early on in life that almost derailed all this. Tell us about that.
Yeah, 10 years old, I was diagnosed with Tourette syndrome, OCD, and severe social anxiety. And I mean, obviously all of it was very challenging, but thinking about now, like how far I've come with all of it, but specifically the social anxiety, just because I would not get up in front of anyone and sing, even though I would love to do. I remember literally.
And you kind of have to do that.
Yeah, it kind of. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I remember running out of recitals, and because I've always been such a dreamer, I was really hard on myself at being like, why am I running out of these recitals when this is what I want to do? Like, I can't figure it out. This is my biggest fear in the world, but it's also the number 1 thing that I just feel like I'm led to do, and this is what I want. So, I mean, even still, like, I'm never going to say I'm 100% over anxiety. Like I can still get in crowds, but that's why I like being on stage, because I'm not like in the crowd.
You're not in the crowd.
I get claustrophobic too, but yeah, I mean, it was a huge struggle. I remember when I started college, I promised I would never do public speaking in college, and then I just enrolled myself in a public speaking class because I'm like, I got to get over this. So,
well, what's funny is back in high school, I actually took F's if you had to give an oral book report, because I was not going to stand up in front of a crowd and read. Just was not going to do that. And so my English teacher would die if she knew what we did today.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, same. I never even gave speeches in high school. I remember I had so many incredible teachers in high school who knew about everything I went through, and they were so good about it. And so we would figure out other things. Like I remember one of my teachers, I gave a speech to him just like with me and whoever my speech partner was or whatever after class. So like he didn't class. And then another one was like, hey, how about you? I remember there's a group project, and she was like, you can split up projects. Like you can do an extra writing project and she'll do your speaking part. And so they really worked with me. But by my senior year, I really wanted to push myself to be able to go through that. And honestly, if they would have made me do those speeches in class, I don't know that I would have wanted to do it myself. Like it's just the way they were so gracious about it. I just couldn't imagine if they weren't. I'm so blessed with such good teachers.
Awesome. We talked a lot about the sacrifice and the struggles of the industry. Now let's flip the script and go the other way. Tell us a few wow moments you've had so far.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So this was one of my first meetings with my record label after signing a deal. I just remember again, sounds so simple, but I just remember being on a Zoom call because everything was over Zoom, and they were saying, hey, you should post a video of whatever it was, and it takes me hours to edit a bunch of videos and put together like video collages. And I remember someone on the team was like, all right, well, I'll get that done and I'll get it back to you in a couple hours. And I was like, but I don't have to do this video. Like, I have someone doing this for me. I'm like, I made it. There's just little moments like that will just hit me because everything happens so fast that you don't really have a chance to just take a step back and be like, I just signed a record deal. I'm releasing an EP. What is going on with my life? Like, it just happens in chronological order. And so I will have little moments like that I'm just like, whoa, I have a manager. Oh my gosh. Just random things like that.
And speaking of teams, when you have a team like that, it makes things so much easier.
It does.
And the teams never get any love, but on our show, as you know, they get some love. So tell us a little bit about the team that helps you be who you are.
Oh, I have the best team. If I was doing this by myself, I would not have this interview right now. First of all, I would not know I would not know what to do. They are so helpful. And also, even with just the stuff that's like, I'm having a freak out moment. Can you help me out here? And they're just like, hey, this is normal. Don't worry about it. Slow and steady wins the race. That kind of stuff too. So even just having a team, it's so, so helpful. But just, I wouldn't know what to do with releasing an EP and releasing songs. I would just probably throw them out there without having like a rollout plan of when to release. So, I mean, just things that most people don't even think about. I'm like, wow, I can't imagine if I had to do this all by myself.
Wow. I definitely love it. And speaking of teams, we have a third co-host, our little 10-year-old we bring on, ask a few questions. So Sandy's going to go get
Christopher, I'll get him.
So while she's getting him, tell us what's kind of next for you after the release of all this.
Well, I release it on September 30th, and then on October 6th, we're having a release party in Nashville. So I'm very excited for that.
And we're going to be in Nashville.
Yes, on October 6th, you guys should come.
Because our 20th anniversary is October 5th.
Oh my gosh.
So we're going to spend from the 2nd to the 9th
You'll have to come.
in Nashville.
You can stop by.
Send us an invite.
Yeah.
Tell your team to send us an invite through email and we'll come.
I'll send you the details. And I believe it's open to public as well. So that I'll be posting about that. But there's a lot that I'm just like gonna let play out and see what happens. But we're talking radio tour. We don't have dates for that or anything yet, but that's kind of what we've been talking about. And I'm already writing for my next project too. So I'm sure recording will come at some point early next year. So I'm so excited for this project. I can't wait.
So a lot's happening. It seems like a little takeoff right now, ain't it?
Yes. Oh yeah. It does. And I just need to just like every morning just sit and enjoy it and realize what's happening, because it's just every day is just so fast. To-do lists, get the things done. And I want to be more present with it. That's
and TikTok kind of took you off, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Is that not crazy?
Oh my gosh. I still think about it today, and it's absolutely crazy. Hello, Chris.
Hey. Our Hart, so what's your food?
What is my favorite food?
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably pizza. Pepperoni pizza.
Because what's yours?
Mine is pizza.
Is it pizza? Yes. Pizza's great.
We had pizza last night, matter of fact.
Ooh, yum.
Yes. Okay, so what's your TV show?
I really love This Is Us. It's probably my favorite TV show. I'm really sad that it's over now, but I think that's probably one of my favorites.
What's yours?
Mine is SpongeBob.
Yes, I watched that growing up. Love SpongeBob too.
Every child, I think, watches that.
Yeah.
It'll probably be on 100 years from now still.
Yeah, you have to.
All right, what's your favorite movie?
Grease. I really love Grease.
Wow.
And oh my goodness, the news about Olivia Newton-John this year, just heartbroken about it. But Grease has always been my favorite movie.
And yours?
All right, my favorite movie is Minions.
You know, I haven't even seen that yet. I'm gonna have to watch it.
Yeah, he loves all the Despicable Me's and the Minions. And we just saw the Minions 2. In fact, we were in Nashville in August and we went to the movie theater to see Minions 2.
I'm gonna have to catch up.
Bye, thanks.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, he's still been on almost every episode. It's been really
I
cool
love
to
it.
have him on.
That's so awesome.
And like I said, I think when last time you were on, he asked, I think, one question then, and now he gets 3 questions.
Yeah. Good. Maybe next time it'll be 5.
They don't take over our show.
Exactly. Yeah.
Then I can step aside and have it still be the Chris and Sandy show. It'll be Lil Chris and Sandy.
Exactly. I love it.
So if you could co-write with any artist, who would it be?
So oh gosh, can I say 2?
Yeah, sure.
I would love to write and do a duet with Dierks Bentley
I'd be a
and
good
Lewis Capaldi. So Dierks Bentley is, in the country world, obviously, and we're both from Arizona. We're both big into aviation. He's a pilot. My dad's a pilot. My uncle's a pilot. I have cousins who are pilots. Like my grandfather's my whole family are pilots, and I'm an aviation nut. I love airplanes. So I don't know, something cool around like an airplane Arizona song or something. And then Lewis Capaldi is just my favorite male vocalist in the pop world. And I actually wrote a song that I had him in mind and doing the duet on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we'll see. I would love to collaborate with both of them.
So if you could bring back any artist who's passed on to spend one day with you, who would it be and what question would you want to ask them?
Oh my gosh. Honestly, maybe Elvis. Elvis was my grandma's favorite, and this is so cool. My grandma's 104 years old, and she got to go to an Elvis concert in Vegas, and I'm just blown away. Like, he is such an icon. I don't even know what question I would ask him. I'd probably ask him if I can come up and sing with him.
Oh, yeah.
But that'd be the whole thing. If you're going to bring them back, let's go all out, right?
I mean, there are so many questions I would want to ask him. Like, I don't even know where I would start, but it would just be so cool to see him.
So what's a song you've heard that you wish you wrote?
So it's by Ryan Griffin. It's called I Would Have Left Me Too. The production and the lyrics are so good. And I remember listening to that song, like going through the breakup too, and I'm like, oh gosh, this is so good. I wish the guy would sing this about me. So it's just such a good song. I just remember for some reason that is one that's just always stuck with me. I'm like, wow, I wish I wrote this.
So where do you want to be in 5 years?
I want to be doing the same thing, writing songs, performing them. I hope I'm doing it at a level where people are coming to pay at arenas to shows. I essentially want to be doing the same thing, just at a bigger level.
Definitely love that. So let's look deeper down the road. Let's say it's 15 years down the road. You're a success on a grand scale. Whatever that looks like for you, you made it. What do you hope you never forget along that journey?
Well, I never want to forget where I came from or who I am, or especially like my relationship with God and my morals and everything like that. So I feel like I'll stay pretty grounded. I'm praying about it every day, but I just never want to forget. Like, honestly, even the first song that took off in my career is about my dad, and it's a family song. So just like, that is who I am. That is where I came from. I came from such an incredible family and support system. Like, there is no amount of things or money or Grammys or anything that can ever top my family. So like that, I just always want that to be number one.
Awesome. And what are some things that inspire you?
Oh, goodness. So I love to be active. So like outdoors and sunshine inspire me. Going to concerts and watching, whether it's my friends or people I really admire, like Dierks Bentley or Shania Twain or whoever it may be, going to concerts is really motivating and inspires me. And then just being able to be vulnerable is really scary for me, but it's inspiring to watch my friends do it and write songs about it. And it's helped me be able to like come out of my shell a little bit. So writing songs about real places that I've been in is also just like, I don't know. It's weird because it's inspiring, even though like it's a process that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what would you like for your legacy to be as an artist? What would you like to be most known and remembered for?
I hope people can always feel a sense of like reality in me, and I hope people can feel God's presence for me. Just being genuine. Like I just hope to always come across as genuine, because I try to be that every time I can.
I love that. If you could say anything to your fans and followers, what would you want to tell them?
First of all, thank you so much for streaming my music. And one of the coolest things ever for me is people dancing to Half a Man at their weddings. Like, go and spread the word and tag me in it, send me all the videos. It will never get old.
Wow.
Wow, love that. And what's the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Ooh, that I've ever been given. Probably I think I kind of mentioned it earlier, but like stay in your own lane, meaning there is one path for you that is different than anybody else's. So just like being able to not compare your talents to other people's, because you can't. Imagine if everyone was Carrie Underwood or everyone was Dirk Bentley, like there would be no variety. So being really grateful for my talents and the things I can and can't do, like being grateful for other people who can do things I can't do, because it's fun to be able to sit back and admire other people's talents. And there are so many variety of different artists that I love, and I'm like, I love to pull from elements of all of them, and I couldn't imagine if they were all the same, so I'm trying to really take that advice and just as best as I can try to just be grateful for my talents.
So as we close out, we kind of flip her question a little bit. What advice would you give the person that wants to do what you do?
Very similar thing, cliche, I know, but also I am such a big fan of just like honesty and reality, and I don't love the highlight reel, even though social media like portrays that, but I'm just such a big fan of just like be genuinely you. No one else can be you, and that when you really think about it, that's a really cool thing. So I would say that, and just if you want to be in the music industry, don't let anyone tell you that you can't. Like I believe if you can be convinced to not do music, then you're not meant to do music. If no one can convince you to quit, then you better do it until you're not breathing anymore.
And I love that, because I remember we interviewed years ago Allison Steele from Two Steel Girls.
Yeah.
And I remember she was talking about advice, and I remember she said that if you can do anything else and be happy, go do that, and just keep music as a hobby. She goes, because it takes everything from you mentally. It takes your body, so much on your body. It just takes so much from your life.
Takes such a toll,
that if you're not all in, you're not going to make it anyway. And the only way to be all in is if you surrender everything else. And she was like, if your heart can be happy doing anything else, then go do that. But if not, then be all in.
Completely agree. I don't have a plan B, so let's hope it works.
So tell everybody how they can find you.
I am on social media, on TikTok and Instagram at Jennifer Hart, YouTube, Twitter. Is that all social media? I'm on Be Real now. And then, of course, Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever you get your music, it's available there.
We really enjoyed having you on today, and we definitely look forward to having you back down the road. And like I said, we'd love to come to your release party.
Please do. I'll send you the info. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.
All right. You have a great day.
Thanks for your time today.
course.
Have a good one.